behind her podium, it's leader 4. A very warm welcome to you, Zanele Madlazi. Your vision statement, please.
The Soweto uprising of 1976 displayed young black people from the township who did not allow adversity to dampen their spirits.
Thank you so much for being our first guest for Edification Conversation.
And hi everyone at home. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
Firstly, congratulations. Congratulations on making it to the top 6 of One Day Leader Season 8. And so briefly, may you just share with us what motivated you to enter, and really, what was your journey like?
So I've been a fan of One Day Leader since Season 1, Episode 1. And this was in 2011, back when I was in grade 9. So I was pretty young, and my mom used to make us watch a lot of news, a lot of talk shows. We used to listen to the radio, like Okozi FM and Radio 702. So there was just a lot of conversation that was happening around South African issues, and One Day Leader was one of those shows as well, which focused on solutions provided by young people. So since 2011, I've been a fan of the show, and in 2019, a close friend of mine, Webster Morrison, made it to the top 6 of season 7, and I was a great fan of his because he's my friend, and I was just part of the show, supporting, campaigning, and he encouraged me to enter. I did, and I made it to the top 6.
Far too many people see an individual being successful and they don't take into account the hard work, the commitment, the dedication that is put in. Would you agree with this?
I do agree that a lot of people see the results of a person's success, but they don't see the background work, or they don't even consider what it takes to get to that position. Particularly in the era of social media, where we just see people on Instagram, we might see Cindy Swa graduating, we might see her getting her new car, or just securing the bag, and we think this looks so easy. But the reality is there's a lot of hard work that goes into being successful, whether you're running a business, whether you're starting a profession, whether you are just a human being who's trying to get into fitness or whatever. Anything that you do in life requires a degree of hard work that you won't always show to people, because what they do see is the result. So I think as young people, we need to sober up in how we interact with people that we admire, or our role models in social media, and always think that there is hard work that is attached to the success that they have.
Back into your life, what is it that you know now that you did not know, let's say, a few years back?
What I wished I knew when I was younger is that good things take time. So I started a YouTube channel last year, and in my mind, it was going to blow up in like 2 months. I was going to have 1 million subscribers. I was going to drop out from school and enjoy money from there. But the reality is good things take time. So you need to hone your skill or your passions. You need to work hard in your studies, in your business. You need to persevere. There's just very few people who will do things and get them right the first time. So I think the reality is there's a lot of hard work that goes into success, as I've previously said. So it's very important to persist and persevere in whatever it is that you do. Give it time, allow it to grow. As Instagram people will say, trust the process. And that's basically what we do.
Growing up, our elders, not just elders from our family, but elders from the community, would always caution us about the company that we keep, our friends. There's this common phrase which says, association brings about assimilation. Simply put, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are.
I really do agree that our company is a reflection of who we are. It makes totally no sense to be with people who drink, smoke, club, or people who play soccer, or people who read and think you won't do the same things, or you won't be interested in doing the same things, or there aren't any similarities there. So the reality is, in terms of company, the company you keep is a reflection of who you are, or at least a reflection of the principles that you have. So if people that you surround yourself with do certain things and you don't engage, it means you endorse those things passively. Even if you're not actively doing those things, it means that there's a degree of your personality and your principles that says it's okay for people to behave like this. So even if you have bad company, you surround yourself with bad company, and you justify it by saying, "Oh no, but I don't kill," for instance, because you watched someone else do it, or because you were in the company of someone who does it, it means that your principles say it's right. So yeah, I do agree that the company we keep is a reflection of who we are or who we want to be.
During these uncertain times of the global pandemic, COVID-19, we found ourselves in lockdown, school calendar being revamped, our schedules as a whole revamped. And so how can a person continue being productive in these times?
I can only speak from my experience in terms of what has kept me sane during these uncertain times. What has kept me sane is to have a schedule, to have things to look forward to every day, especially when schools were still closed, when I wasn't back at university and stuff. It was very important for me to wake up in the morning and say, okay, I'm going to start my day by working out. Or today I want to cook a balanced meal. Or today I'm going to video call my friends whom I haven't spoken to in a long time. I think it's very important to wake up to something, because as human beings, we are purpose-driven beings. We are task-driven beings. So at a point where you feel like there's nothing for you to do, you start feeling aimless, and that might actually play with your emotional and mental well-being, where you start feeling like, what's the point of living? Wow, life really sucks. Especially if you're away from home. Maybe you're in university, or you're in boarding school, or you are wherever else. So I think as the pandemic continues, we need to make sure that we just plan ahead. So what is it that I would like to achieve next week? What is it that I would like to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? And it doesn't mean that at first I was one of the people who said, learn a new language, learn a new skill. But I think sometimes it actually also plays with your mental well-being if you can't achieve those things. So I'm not saying drop your expectations about yourself or what you can achieve, but trying to just be realistic and knowing that not every day is going to be the same. You won't always wake up and feel like you are worth $1 million. Sometimes you'll feel like you're just worth $1,000, and it's okay as long as you're still trying to keep sane and being positive and thinking that the next day will be better than today.
Zanele, you have said a mouthful. Any closing remarks?
Yes, I do have final remarks. The first thing being, thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for supporting me through the One Day Leader journey. And secondly, I'd like to just say to young people who are still at school, who are planning for their futures, who either want to go to university or start businesses or get into certain professions, I want to say, keep dreaming. You are entitled to think that you can become anything and everything that you want to be, even things that you can't comprehend, even professions that they don't exist yet. You can literally be anything that you want to be, but you have to work hard to get there. The idea of just dreaming, and there's difference between goals and dreams. So goals, you work towards them, and dreams, you just wait and think that they will happen. So be a goal-driven dreamer, if that makes sense. Yeah, just work hard towards achieving the things that you want to achieve, and keep it moving and trust the process.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Edification Conversation, Zanele. We are so fortunate as a country, as South Africa, to have a catalyst of change like yourself. Thank you so much for not only inspiring South Africa, but for inspiring the world. May you keep up the amazing work that you do, and honestly, all the best in all that you do.